Here's my quick and easy tutorial on how to ruin a character. Step 1. Find a beloved character who has great fan support. Step 2. Make that character the complete opposite of what everyone thinks they are. The Book of Boba Fett is kind of the new The Last Jedi, a divisive series that has made significant changes to a pre-established character that many, including the actor themselves, have said they were not fond of.
Luke would never say that.
Well, I was hoping not to say as much as I have already in the first 2 episodes. I speak far too much. In fact, in the beginning, I was trying to get past my lines on to Ming-Na.
Yes,
and I'd always say, excuse me, director, I really feel that Ming-Na should say these lines because I want to stay mysterious. Right. I want to stay quiet.
And overall, just like with The Last Jedi, my reaction was identical. The first half is boring, and the second half is great, and the conclusion is very meh. Allow me to explain. Boba Fett starts off with our main man trapped in the sand vagina, and I've got to be honest, I was very underwhelmed by the explanation as to how he escaped the dusty fanny. Wouldn't it have been cool if we had an entire episode dedicated to Boba's escape? It would have been really claustrophobic and creepy, whilst also showing how resourceful and intelligent Boba is. Also, the dude wouldn't be saying much and would also keep his bloody mask on for more than 5 seconds. You would think, considering there was a dent in it, he would realise how important it is for him to wear it. Whatever. Instead, what we get is Boba lighting the thing on fire and crawling out of it. Then what we get is 2 storylines, one that is mildly interesting, and the other which is a damn chore to get through. Sadly, the boring storyline is the show's main one, and details Boba's leadership and basically shows a squabble that gets out of hand. The storyline is dull, and does nothing with Boba or Fennec. Neither character receives any development whatsoever. Fortunately, the Tusken Raider storyline is much better, and it was nice to see those guys get some screen time and development. Would have been nice if there was some development left over for other characters, but whatever. By this point, I was still enjoying the series. Then came episode 3, and so did those bikers. I instantly hated these people. Instantly. Star Wars is about a galaxy far, far away, set a long time ago, and yet those guys talk the exact same way my neighbours do. It's not that these characters couldn't work, they just don't fit the show, and they definitely don't suit Tatooine, a planet where everything is faded and the colour palette is mute. So you have this very drab planet, and then the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show up as your entourage. I also didn't like the directing in this episode. Robert Rodriguez was not good at directing action in this episode, showing one of the dullest and sleep-inducing chase sequences that I have ever seen. Annoyingly, he returns to direct the big finale. Stuff happens in episode 4 I don't really remember, and then it happens. The show became really, really good. The Book of Boba Fett ditched Boba Fett and dedicated an entire episode to a character that people still care about, Din Djarin. It was very jarring to go from the Book of Boba Fett to The Mandalorian Season 3, or Season 2.5, or Season 2.1897564, however you wish to refer to it. This episode was amazing, and may I say, Bryce Dallas Howard, please make a Star Wars film, or a science fiction film, or something please, because your directing has gotten so good. This episode also features something missing from the previous episodes, character development. Din experiences more in one episode than Boba or Fennec do in an entire season. Honestly, this episode is just fantastic. You see Din struggling with the Darksaber, and also the fact that he's now Grogu-less. And you really understand how lost this man is, all whilst he's wearing his helmet and saying very little. I really feel like the Book of Boba Fett writers forgot one of the golden rules of life. Sometimes, less is more. So anyway, Din makes a new ship out of the Naboo Starfighter, and that's that one Mandalorian lady who I've forgotten the name of. The Armorer, is that her name? Anyway, she makes some chainmail for Grogu, and after a quick visit from Fennec, Mando goes off to give the chainmail to Grogu. End of episode. Then we have episode 6. People went nuts over this episode. Oh, Luke Skywalker's in this episode. I don't really care. Oh, is that Ahsoka Tano? She's cool, I guess. I don't really understand why. Oh, is that Cad Bane? Oh my goodness, it's Cad Bane. From Clone Wars? Does he sound the same? Please tell me he sounds the same.
To get a holocron, I'd have to break into the Jedi Temple. It's impossible.
Boba Fett is a cold-blooded killer who worked with the Empire.
Kind of sounds the same. Well, as long as they don't... I knew it was coming, and yet I'm still disappointed. He was in the episode for less than 5 minutes, and now he's dead. It's Glenn all over again. We'll talk more about this later. So episode 6 shows Luke training Grogu, yada yada yada. He gives Grogu a choice between being a Jedi and being with Mando. Meanwhile, since Boba was too lazy to do anything for himself, Mando goes to see Cobb Vanth and asks for his help. Cobb declines, but Mando knows he said yes with his eyes. And then Mother flipping Cad Bane shows up and ices both Cobb and his slightly annoying deputy. Cad really didn't like that deputy, poor guy. Now that we're done with the 2 good episodes, let's move on to the mixed bag of a finale. Robert Rodriguez returns to remind us that he can't do action scenes, at least in this show, and Boba reminds us of how far he has fallen as a character. Boba wisely suggests fighting at the palace away from all the civilians, but then female Power Ranger number 1 says that they should fight here, in the streets, and strongly implies that Boba would be a bad leader and an uncaring one if he didn't agree. What? Are you mental? Yes, it's true that they might attack the villagers even if Boba isn't there, but if Boba is there, aren't they just going to attack with full force? Won't the civilians be in even more danger if they decide to have a war right next to their houses? Plus the mayor even says that he wants as little damage as possible to the town. Obviously she doesn't know this, but still, come on. What an unquestionably dumb idea that Boba bafflingly agrees to. What happened to this man? What happened to the guy who could stand up to Darth Vader? This is not that guy. This is a guy who lost his backbone. This is a guy who will roll over for anyone. This guy sucks, and not in a pleasant way. So a big battle happens, lots of buildings and people's houses and livelihoods get destroyed. If only this battle was occurring elsewhere. Bunch of nobodies die. What? If the supposed friends of these characters don't even react to their death, then why would I? Freetown shows up at the last minute and are basically useless. Fennec disappears to kill the leaders, and even Grogu shows up to let us know that he loves his dad. Suck it, Luke. You can shove Yoda's lightsaber up your ass. Boba brings out the Rancor to kill the 2 droids, destroying even more property, and then he fights Cad Bane. Now this scene sucked, because I kept thinking, why does he have a missile on his back? Didn't he already fire that in the episode? Oh, and I also thought they're going to kill Cad Bane, which they do. I know a lot of people saying that he's still alive due to his life support or something, but I'm pretty sure he's dead. Hopefully I'm wrong, but who knows what will happen. So Boba wins, Mando goes off with Grogu, the end. Oh, nearly forgot, Boba implied that he might be stepping down from the position of power and maybe handing over leadership to the biker gang. If so, Tatooine is doomed. And also, if that's the case, what was the point of this series? The Book of Boba Fett has been a bit of a disaster, especially for its main character. Gone is the mysterious bounty hunter feared throughout the galaxy. Say hello to this kind man with a heart of gold, who loves everyone around him. This is the kind of guy who can train a Rancor in just a few days. Look, I've been pretty harsh on the Book of Boba Fett, but I did enjoy it. Yeah, it was a bit of a mess, and yeah, I believe they've irreparably ruined Boba Fett forever, but at least all the stuff with Mando and Grogu was cool. Even though 2 seasons of The Mandalorian was resolved in 2 episodes of Boba Fett, let's just say I'm excited for The Mandalorian Season 3 and not Boba Fett Season 2. Remember to like this video, 1 like is 1 prayer for Cad Bane, and the more of you who subscribe, the more likely he'll come back to life. Anyway, thanks for watching, see you next time, bye bye!